welcome to Life Coaching Today Presents, hosted by authentically.
Hey y'all, I think I'm live. I don't know what is going on. What is going on here, but that's okay. We have our moments, right? We have our moments. So welcome everyone on this happy Friday. And as usual, as soon as I start chatting it up, guess what? My phone is ringing, right? And of course, that's what exactly would happen at the moment. And so it's all good though. It's just Friday. We have made it to the weekend. Thank you, Jesus. Because I don't think if our work week was like 7 days long, I don't think I could take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I just want to say welcome to the Conflict Whisperer podcast on the Life Coaching Today page. And if this is your first time listening to me, well, welcome. Hey, welcome to this page and welcome to meeting me. And now you are a part of the family. Like I said, we are, it is Friday, y'all. It is Friday, and I could jump for joy because guess what? I'm kind of tired. Just kind of tired. That's okay though. We are all dragging. We are giving ourselves a little bit more energy, and we're just doing it, right? We're doing it, and that's okay. We all expect that to be a thing, and we're here. We're good. So yay. As usual, per this week, it is hot. It is really hot in Eaton in Georgia. I think it's like 109. Listen, y'all, all across the nation, I hope you guys are staying warm. I said this on my last podcast because guess what? It is hot in the United States. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how people are surviving it without air conditioning. And I know that there's different places around the nation in different cities that have cooling centers, right? Just like in the winter, we're having warming centers, and in the summer, we have cooling centers. So just listen, if you are the person that needs that, please go to a cooling center. We want you here to shine with us in the world, honestly. This is so very important. Just make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated and your health. I mean, like literally don't wear dark clothing. I made that mistake earlier. Wear whites, wear cool, wear cotton, wear linens. Here I am like doing a whole fashion report. But guess what? Those are the things that keep us cool. Sit in front of the fan, I don't care if you got to open your freezer on occasion, eat some popsicles. Eat a whole lot of popsicles. It will do you well just to keep cool, but keep yourself hydrated because I almost caught heat stroke the other day in my car because my air conditioning crashed out on me, even though the air conditioning had been fixed 2 weeks prior. But I'm not bitter. It's all right. It was survivable. I survived it as I made it to the restaurant with a lot of water and ice on my face. It's real in these streets, y'all. So please be careful. And then also be careful too, because the weather is changing so quickly that we go from hot weather and then we have storms. So I was walking Zora the doggie earlier today, and there were so many trees down and so many branches and tree bark. Like, how hard was the wind blowing that the tree bark flew off the trees? I just want to say that. It's just wild work. Wild work, this weather that is going on right now. But it's all survivable if we keep ourselves safe. Outside of me being tired, I do want to talk about something. And we're going to talk about a lot of things today. My last podcast, we were talking about masculinity and feminine energy, and we're going to discuss that today. But from a different perspective, but from a woman's perspective, and how she, as a mother, as a student of being a parent, right? Because we are parents, but we're also students, as in being parenting, in parenthood. We don't think about it like that because we are learning as we go. And when you learn, that is exactly what it means. We are learning as we go. So you were a student, right? So we're going to talk about this today, but I want to talk about something about children quickly. And you all can agree with me or disagree with me, because I have a philosophy, I have a theory. And it's really interesting because I always wonder if when we grow up into adulthood, if we become like, if we have amnesia. It seems like we forget what type of child we were. It seems like we forget that we were ever children. So, and I don't know why that is. And I bring that up because we all, during the times that we're growing up, right? And I was an 80s and 90s baby. And then we have our babies that grew up in the 90s and the 2000s. And then we have the children that are still in the 2000s, right? We all have our own different levels of technology. And fun for us is very different when you grow up in the different decades, right? Because what you have access to changes, and we know that technology plays a great part, right? When I was 10 years old, there was no such thing as an iPad. There was no such thing as cell phones. And if there were, not the cell phones that we have today, right? So I didn't have access to technology. I promise you, like, I wanted a pretend computer because I wanted to learn how to type. Whatever that was on the computer screen, I wanted to learn, and it was really more of a teaching tool. So very different than what our children are consuming today on the internet, right? And that's something that I think we need to be mindful about. But I think we also need to remember and have great recall about, which is that we're children. This is important because, like I always say, I was a 90s baby that was raised on Lifetime movies. All right, so let's take a step back for all y'all youngins that don't know. Like, there are only certain channels, not the 5,000 channels, not the 5,000 apps to watch TV. There was only certain channels that you could watch. And there were certain topics that were on TV, or certain things, right? Like HBO was something that turned on at night. And if your parents got it or couldn't really afford it, you might see it and it was kind of grainy, like you couldn't see it. Like the big thing was MTV. But for a lot of young women, like, we watched Lifetime. I know I did. And Lifetime in the 90s was literally, if they outed any type of relationship that was negative, any type of relationship that was domestic violence related, or like, they made a story about it. They even made a story about, children unaliving parents. All this stuff was shocking at the time. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is happening. And guess what? Unless you read newspapers from around the country, you didn't know, right? There was no Google News that you could pull up and see information from all across the country. I say that because I read a story last night specifically, before I went to bed, that I was completely astounded by. And so here's where being a child, and meaning a little person, not of age, a child comes into play with the interactions of TV, which is a technology, and social media, which is a technology, and how parents aren't paying attention. But it's almost like I don't want to say that because I don't want to blame the parents, because parents today cannot manage children as we were managed back in the day. And I'm old enough to say back in the day, right? Because we didn't have access to all of these technologies like kids have currently. So here's the story. There were some fifth grade girls. Now, just take a moment and think about when you were in fifth grade. I know when I was in fifth grade, I think I was like 11, 12-ish, decided that they were upset about a young man another fifth grade boy that had dated one of their friends. So we're just gonna leave it there to say that they're upset about dating in fifth grade. And what they were upset about was that this young man, quote unquote, cheated on one of their friends. I'm gonna pause there because cheating is a very adult concept, but these are fifth graders. These are 12-year-olds that are, I'm looking for the right word, who have consumed the concept of cheating and are now reacting in a way that's very adult-like. Okay. And so I just want to pull it up on my phone and pull the story up because I want to give you all the exact title and some of the exact statements that were provided. And so the title says, fifth grade girls plot to just end, end quote, just end. Think about what that word means, what that phrase means. Male classmate by stabbing him, revealed by local police. Now, I'm a mommy. Thank God my children are out of school. But I was like, what the what? What the what? So just end. Just know that. Right now, we got to be really politically correct. Actually, I don't know why this happened, why certain words are banned as if it's not true. I can tell y'all, just because y'all changed the phrases doesn't mean the word still doesn't exist. The connotation and the definition of the word doesn't change. I just want to put that out there, but if it makes the world feel better, so be it. And so it says revenge is a very strong desire because we're humans. And I just want y'all to follow me. I just want y'all to hear me when I say even little kids understand the concept of revenge, even if they don't know the word. The ability to feel harm and want to have some level of justice, and they may not know the word justice, but they know that they want to get back at someone to make themselves feel better, right? And in some respects, that can be defined as justice. So a group of fifth grade girls in Arizona decided that they were going to come up with a murder plot against a male classmate for revenge. Now, let me tell y'all something. And if y'all are like, oh, no, I wasn't that smart in school back then. Well, maybe it's because you didn't have the greatest technology that we have currently, right? And the technology is only going to get better. So it says that they came up with a plot by making it look like a suicide. Now, listen, y'all, that blew me away because I just want to tell y'all, like, as we say, like there's some of us who study and read about like serial killers and like to hear stories about all that stuff. And so that's wild work, wild. And when I tell you that these little girls actually decided, y'all, that they were going to make this look like a plot. And so it says the girls' plans were thwarted when they weren't careful about where they talked about it. Okay, so that means that they were thwarted by the police. So I'm stuck a little bit because I'm like, wait a minute, do you know what it takes to come up with a murder plan and then to make it look like suicide? Y'all, wild work. Wild work. It's crazy what these little girls did. And so they went as far as this. So a group, and let me just clarify for you all, according to this article at Legends Traditional Schools West Surprise Campus, that's a big word. These are a group of 4, 10, and 11-year-old girls. They came up with the plot to murder a male classmate. So that means they know enough about the concept of cheating. They know enough about the concept of harming someone else, and they know enough about the concept of suicide. So for all of you all in the world today that are like, these little kids don't know anything, I promise you, these are not little children from 1502. I just want to say that. They're just not. And so they have access to movies. They have access to shows that when they are watching these shows, we are being taught certain behaviors that we may not even understand. And so that is something that we need to be mindful of. So they were plotting and planning and scheming. And let me tell y'all something. I'm so flabbergasted because I know how my mind works. I know the type of things that I read. And what took me out, y'all, let me just say this, is that these girls brought gloves, y'all. They actually brought gloves. They brought gloves with them. So this is how they were going to plan to hurt this young man because he cheated. They were going to lure him after recess or during recess, and they just wanted to end him. Let me say this. These little girls were like, we just want to end him after a recent breakup that included cheating allegations. So they planned to lure the young man into an outside bathroom. Then they were going to stab him in the stomach. Every girl had a role to play in this. And one girl was going to bring a knife to school. Another girl was going to write the suicide notes. And the other one was going to be lookout. And the other one was going to carry out the stabbing. And like I said, they even knew to wear gloves while handling the knife to avoid fingerprints. Now listen, these are not children that watch. I mean, they didn't go to school. They're in 5th grade, right? They didn't go to school for forensics. They're watching Law and Order. They're watching movies. They're watching all kinds of things. The plan was thwarted because they were overheard, and it was something that the other children in the school they revealed the plan to their to the leadership of the school. But I just want to say I am shocked. I'm shocked. So I go back to say this, right? Because I think the interesting thing for me is not only that they came up with the plan, is that there are adults that are denying that this could possibly be true. Like, there's no way that children have the capacity to learn at that level and understand, and to be able to execute, even though we know in history, like, it's possible. Like, hell, y'all, I don't know if y'all know this, but the very first school shooter in the United States was a young woman. And the premise of why she did the school shooting, because her house was across the street from the school, it was based on the fact that she just did not feel like going to school that day. And so she took out a gun and started shooting at children. And I can't remember how old she was, but guess what? She had the capacity, the intellectual capacity to do that. So I just want to put that out there. So we have got to stop as adults in our adulting to say that children are not capable, because children are capable. We're seeing it. I mean, there are people that are literally in the chat that are saying things like, little kids don't do that. They don't have that. They don't have it. It's just crazy to me. It's just wild to me. And I just don't think that as parents, we understand the level of access our children have. And you can be the type of parent that decides that you can put parental controls on your phone. However, it's a problem when your friends have access to everything on the internet, and yet they might use their friends' phones, or their friends might be showing them information that can be harmful to their psyche and introduce them to things, right? Does that make sense? I'm just concerned. Listen, little people are little people. I want to be clear about that. Young people are young people that are just young people inside adult bodies at some point in time, but they have the same feelings that we have, and we just don't know what to do with it. But it's amazing to me that people really don't believe this. I'm just flabbergasted, completely flabbergasted about what is going on in the world today. So that just totally took me out. And the fact that I just kind of keep harping on this because to me, it's like the adults that complain about babies crying and then they don't understand why babies cry, as if they didn't cry on airplanes, right? Like they're just like, oh my gosh, we need to get them off the airplane, blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, I'm confused by it all. So it's just something, be on the lookout, pay attention. So it's just, I'm so flabbergasted. So I just don't understand. But I say that because today on the show, we are going to discuss the capability of young people and the capability and the capacity to do more and to learn more. So I'm going to have, and y'all, I forgot to say, right? Like the fabulous Yoruba is with me today. And we are going to go to break, and we are going to see you on the other side. So Yoruba, let's go to break.
Are you a life coach who wants to make a difference in the world? Do you want to share your wisdom, passion, and experience with others? Do you want to grow your business and reach more clients? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need Life Coaching Today. Life Coaching Today is the largest platform on the web for life coaches, therapists, and hypnotherapists who want to enhance their visibility, gain exposure, and connect with clients. Life Coaching Today is more than just a directory. It's a network of opportunities. By joining Life Coaching Today, you will get access to a magazine where you can be featured and connect with over 30 million subscribers. Be a guest to our podcasts with over 55,000 subscribers. A directory where you can showcase your profile, services, and testimonials to thousands of potential clients. And that's not all. Life Coaching Today also offers a free 30-minute coaching session on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where you can be coached or meet your next client. A flexible pricing plan where you can choose the best option for your budget and goals. A dedicated customer service team where you can get help and guidance whenever you need it. So what are you waiting for? Join Life Coaching Today and take your life coaching career to the next level. Visit www.lifecoachingtoday.com and sign up today. Life Coaching Today, the largest portal on the web connecting coaches, therapists, and hypnotherapists.
So, hey y'all, I am back, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come back and I'm going to have Yoruba stop. So this is not for y'all, but we know how to cut it. So Yoruba, let's go ahead and end the podcast, and let me call Lisa and see if I can figure out what's going on with her. So see you in a few minutes, or I'll just drop you a message in the chat. All right.